Alright, welcome back to SOS. I'm Stasser and Badass.
Sippy cup.
I gotta let it play for a little bit because I
Mm-hmm.
don't know how long, you know what I mean, before it comes on.
Mm-hmm.
It always has that delay before it kicks on, right?
Mm.
So,
We're all here. Everybody's alive.
we're all here.
Yay! Hi, everybody.
Southern Art, Backwoods Law, Perry, Brian, Chipper66. Who else we got? Bobby, Nico, Luke, Daniel, God is my judge, Wyoming Prepper, Scott Key, David.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many.
Mm-hmm.
You got that one?
El Prepitano.
Nice. Mm.
Let me say hi to Perry Gardner.
I did say hi to
Hi,
Perry.
Bobby Parker and Daniel T.
Mm.
Steve Foco.
Okay.
Tabor.
Tracy.
Eric. Hi. Jason. Medrocuar. Kerr. Para Pierce. And Justin. And Wayne.
Wayne. It's still rolling, so. Um,
Pepperdale.
and
Preacher.
Pepperdale.
And
Preacher.
Nani.
Nani. So many. Got that one?
Jamerson.
Jamerson. All right.
Jameson, sorry.
Oh,
Jameson.
so
Go ahead.
got a lot of interesting things we can talk about tonight. I thought it would be a mix. I always like doing these when it's a mix. I guess if you're the last man on earth, there's going to be a lot to talk about, with yourself. But that's from the movie Omega Man, and a lot of people probably don't remember that. But Omega Man was actually back when Twilight Zone was kicking off. Twilight Zone had done this little sketch, and it was an Air Force guy that had been experimented on and dropped into a town where there were no people, and the phone was ringing off the hook, and just crazy stuff, just drive a person nuts, right? So they ended up later on down the road, they made a movie called Omega Man, and Omega Man actually what was the name of that movie again? That I'm gonna get screwed up if I say it again. It's got Will Smith in
I
it.
am Legend.
I Am Legend. There we go. I don't want to miss anything or you know jack the title up. So I Am Legend kind of came from Omega Man. If anyone's ever seen Omega Man and then they watched I Am Legend, it was nothing new to them. It just like this is just a total remake of Omega Man, but it's I Am Legend. So anyway,
Hey, Waldo.
basically, if you don't know what Omega Man is,
Bill Jean. Guns McPew.
it's
Jeff.
pretty much the same thing as I Am Legend. If you don't know either or, they're almost exactly the same. You know, except in Omega Man, he doesn't have a dog cruising around with him everywhere he goes. I think he actually does, but I can't remember. But it's been too long ago. But that's not really Preacher. Thank
you,
you,
Preacher. We appreciate it. Boom. You're
thank you,
awesome.
brother.
We appreciate your love and support, buddy.
And Omega Man was just a little bit different. He did have an apartment set up just like Will Smith had in I Am Legend, and he did have the lights that would come out and blind all the creatures to get them to leave. And it was the same stuff going on. And he did run into a woman, and it, same kind of stuff. It was almost the same movie, but it's just different time periods. And instead of being tactical, uh, the older movie wasn't as tactical. It was more old school type equipment, old school weapons, and things like that.
Hey, Privateer Prepper and Trevor and Susie and Tracy and.
I had to fill people in on that because
Mm-hmm.
there's probably going to be a lot of people that would ask, "Hey, what's the movie Omega Man?" They probably never seen it or something like that.
I've never seen it.
It's pretty interesting. But when I saw I Am Legend, I'm like, where have I seen this before? And that's when I kind of, Omega Man, that was the movie. That was one of the ones. Remember when we did the top 10? We did the top 10 movies for the apocalypse, and I started to put Omega Man on the list, but we already had all the other ones written down, but they were really good movies. But Omega Man was one of the ones where I was going to put on the list.
Oh.
Anyway, I'm rambling.
Hey, Adam. Tibor.
Gunsmith Pew Pew married a zombie once. Is she still a zombie or?
Did you find a cure?
Oh man, must have found a cure.
Mm-hmm.
Did
Thank you, Privateer Prepper.
Privateer Prepper, thank you.
You're awesome. Thank you for your love and support, buddy. Appreciate you.
What was I gonna say?
Some about reversible rounds.
Well, that was one of the topics for tonight. I've got a reloading discussion for tonight for some of you out there that reload, and it was kind of a question, but I'm gonna go into just what I know because I've actually seen it and done it. So it would definitely help people out there if I saw something odd. And but I've got another odd reloading section for tonight, and the announcement of the next Bug Out Bag series. Bug Out Bag series this time is going to be a lot different. It's going to be something. There's people out there that can't just, you know, put stuff together, right? Like a Justin, a lot's in store for tonight. All right, so people can't just put together certain things, or they can, but they either don't have time or something like that. So I'm going to do something different with the series, and it starts next week. I'm not sure if I'm going to kick it off tomorrow and just go ahead and start the first video tomorrow. And everybody knows the order I kind of go in when I do a Bug Out Bag series. I usually start with water, so I'm going to start with water this time as well. This time I'm using a totally different setup. I'm not going to go and buy a bunch of random stuff and put things together myself for everything.
No.
Not this time. This time I'm going Stanford Outdoor Supply. If any of you know who that is, that's SOS. And also, that's their abbreviation is SOS. And also, they're known for the Boss kits. And the Boss stands for Bug Out Supplement, something like that. I can't. Don't quote me on any of this.
Serious supplement.
It's serious. Is it serious? I don't think it says serious. But anyway. So basically, I'm going with the Boss kits. All right. The medical kit is still on the way. It's running a little behind, but the rest of the kits are here. I've got.
Well, their medical kits are usually always sold out.
Yeah, their medical
They're that
kits.
good.
Their medical kits are so good that they're always sold out.
Yep.
That's part of the problem. But they sell medical kits in bulk from SOS. They sell bucket storage of medical supplies. It's crazy. I've never seen anything like that. Bucket storage type stuff, but this is this type of deal. So I've got
Thank you, Rick.
I've got water. I've got their water kit. I've got their everybody knows their fire kit. Everybody knows their fishing and hunting kit. Everybody knows those. I've got their shelter kit. I've got their navigation kit. What's the other ones I've got?
Thank you, Jay.
Am I missing one?
Navigation?
It was navigation, shelter, and water was the oddball ones, and I've got their medical kits on the way.
Yeah.
The two everyone's mostly seen is the fire and the fishing and hunting. Most people have seen those.
Well, Gun says they got a cool baby hatching kit too.
What?
Love it, Guns.
Oh.
We missed having you here.
We miss having you around, Guns.
We do.
All the time. Every day. All the time.
Hey, Busky.
I remember one thing about Gunsmith Pew Pew when I was in the Corps, Guns used to live with me. We were roomies. He had nowhere to go, so he stayed with me. He had somewhere to go. He just didn't want to go there.
You don't want to go there.
But yeah, Guns used to stay with me. We were BFFs in the Corps. But yeah, he's a good dude. Those of you that don't know who Gunsmith Pew Pew is.
Hey, Copperhead.
So, the kits, all right?
Simplify.
I'm going with super simple things that people can just, if you go to like Sippy and I were both looking at SOS Products, the Stanford Outdoor Supply Company. Those of you've got to type that in if you want to look it up. Just put in Stanford Outdoor Supply, and you can pull up their website, and all their stuff is super cheap and affordable. It comes in kits. If you want something for fire starting, you just click the fire starting kit, put it in the basket, and check out. It's like 19 bucks. You get all of it. Fishing and hunting, 19 bucks. I think it's less than that actually. But you can click on it, put it in the box, boom, you're done. So now I can tell you it cost me a fortune to put together, a basic fire kit. If I did it kind of, on the cheap, just being cheap with it, I can save some money.
Thank you, Scott
Thank
Key.
you, Scott Key.
Appreciate it, buddy. Boom. You're awesome.
We appreciate it, buddy.
We love and appreciate your support. It means a lot to us.
If I put together one of those kits, you guys have seen me put together multiple kits on the channel with fire kits. If I went to SOS and just did that, someone would be like, man, why did he do that? He could put that together. But
Thank you, Memphis.
but for roughly, I think it's around 19 bucks. I know it's not 20. Okay, I know it's not that much, but for roughly 19 bucks, you can buy the kit. You're done. You put it in your bag. And I've said it on the channel before. If I could do this my way, I would just go to Stanford Outdoor Supply. I've already said it before on the channel, and people would probably quote me on that in one of my videos where I said I could just go there and just, all right, fire kit. All right, click, it's in the basket. I'm done.
Hey, BBE.
So this is for people that don't have time and want to put together a kit. So I'm going to do a bug out bag. I'm gonna basically cut open each and every single one of their products, all of them. I'm going to dump them all on the table, and we're going to say an honest comment about each and every single item in there. Throw it back in the bag, seal it, throw it in my box, and then at the end, I'm going to put it all together, and we're going to have ourselves a bug out bag.
Thank you, James. God bless you too, buddy.
But I want to show people that they don't have to do like I'm doing. They don't have to do what I'm doing. They don't have to go into Walmart or Kmart or Target or wherever it is that they shop around at. They don't have to go there and walk around trying to figure out, well, did he say get this and then get this, or did he say do this, this, and this? I want to make something that's so simple that they can just boom, and then there you go. But if you go to like I said, if you go to the website, they've got bug out bags.
Hey, Kelp Piper.
They've got all that stuff. So for those of you that are interested in that stuff, and I was kind of picky about the medical kit because at first we wasn't even going to get a medical kit for this whole video, this series. We wasn't even going to buy one because Sippy has so much medical stuff. She's like, soon as I showed her, she's got to run. We got an emergency going down. Soon as I showed her that the kits, and I was like, can I just get one? I'm like trying to con the wife into it. It's like, can I just get one so that I can complete this series with having all their stuff here, and then I can actually cover all of it. Thank you, Josh. You are awesome, brother. You are awesome. God bless you. You are awesome.
Oh, thank you, Josh. Appreciate your support, buddy.
Her nose is red.
Love and appreciate all y'all's support.
Really appreciate it. But I went there and I was showing Sippy. Sippy's in the medical field, so I was like, can I get this so I can complete the series the right way and have all their stuff here? And she's like, no. Right off the bat, it's no. No, we've got medical stuff. Thank you, Ted.
Thank you, Ted. Puck.
You are awesome.
Thank you.
Thank
we
you.
appreciate and love your support.
And Sippy's like, no,
Okay, thank you.
you're not getting it. And but it's for the series. This is the reason why we do this. We have to get this stuff so people can see it. There's nobody does this stuff. Their medical kits are always sold out. They never have them available. They had one kit left.
Yeah, we finally got the last one.
We got the last kit. We were the people that bought the very last kit. And
I was impressed with what they had, and I said, yeah, you should buy it because for somebody who doesn't have any idea what to
Exactly.
buy,
that was the
besides a
point.
crap ton of Band-Aids, that medical kit is affordable, and you
Yep.
get a lot for what they throw in.
And they instruction it so you know what it's for and all that stuff. The average, average people that are not in the medical field have no experience with it, but they have some general knowledge from what they've studied on their own.
Thank you, Wayne.
Thank you, Wayne.
Groves. We appreciate your support, buddy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Fist bump.
God bless you, sir.
When we were looking at that stuff, and I was thinking there's people out there that don't have a lot of experience, but there's instructions and what to do, and they can get this kit and just be done. They don't have to rely on, well, what did I pack in my kit? And I do my video, and I'm like, I've got 3 2-inch gauze pads, then I've got one Israeli bandage, and then I've got one pair of medical shears. And instead of going through all that,
BG Prepper.
I've got BG Prepper. Thank you, BG Prepper. It's awesome.
That is awesome.
That is really thoughtful, and I really appreciate it. But I got that right here. And if any of you see Bug Out Brad, keep him here.
Thank you, Sean Puff.
Thank you, Sean.
God bless you, buddy. Appreciate
You are
your support,
awesome.
sir. Thank you.
I talked to you today about the patches. I had a guy on the phone yesterday. He worked out a deal. The problem is, in order for me to get any kind of a deal, I've got to buy 100 patches. Oh, that's new info. That's all new now. I've got to buy 100 patches now.
100.
I can't buy like 10 or 15 patches. No. We got to buy 100 patches. It's a go. But I've got the guy on the phone. I sweet talked him into it. I did everything I could to get it down as far as I could, and price wise. So it just wouldn't freaking bankrupt me trying to get some patches for all of us.
Yeah, it's kind of steep.
It is steep.
I told him noob.
But I told him it wasn't. No, you didn't say completely no. You said no right then.
Yeah.
But we both agreed that in a week, if things are all right and we're still afloat, then we're gonna try and get the patches here. He's gonna put the patches together. He's gonna do 100, and he said, if I call him back next, this is me and my sense of humor. He said if I call him back next week, and it's okay, and we're doing this, he said he'll throw in 15 more patches, and I was like, well, what if I wait a month? You want to throw in like maybe 20 more?
You patriot.
Maybe get 20 more free if I wait a few more weeks.
Thank you.
I don't know if Bug Out Brad's going to show up. All right, look. I don't know if he's going to show up, but if he does show up, or I've got
Thank you.
H&H, our friend H&H. He is a really good friend of ours, and he sent me his magnet. I've got one actually already stuck inside the truck on the dashboard. My dashboard's metal, and I went ahead and stuck one on the truck so it's facing me. And most of the stickers, especially when you guys send me two, one goes on the truck and then the other one goes in the other place. All right, so this is Bug Out Brad. Stay alive longer, fire, water, shelter, and food. Hey, Bug Out Brad's a cool dude. He is really cool. And I really like what he did with his patch. It's way better than what he had before, but he came up with a logo. So, was there another one? Was that the only one? That was the only one. I thought there was no. Oh, that's right, because I already did the other ones last week. We did do the other ones last week. That's right.
So, Old Wolfman has a question.
I see that. I'm trying to. It caught my eye. I'm reading it right now. What is the rule of thumb? How you use around packing your inch bag for 22 ammo personal defense ammo. Rule of thumb, like as in weight, it's all based off weight for me. When I'm packing a bug out bag, like the bug out bag, Sippy had to help me to the, I was carrying this thing around with me. I have to use OPSEC because I don't want to give away where I put my bag. But the thing is that I put the bag on and I carried it around with me for a little bit to make sure everything was okay before I just said, this is it. I want it like this. Now, one thing you can do if you don't like the weight of your bag, you can if you're not carrying ammo, you're good. But I mean, as far as weight goes, all right, as far as weight goes. But the more ammo you have, the heavier everything gets. It gets extremely heavy carrying more ammo. And it's just like when someone has a shotgun. When someone has a shotgun, the ammo gets really heavy for it, and that kind of stuff. But just minus some of the ammo out, like carry half of that. Like instead of carrying 100 rounds of 22 ammo, I know ammo for a 22 is light, but that's if the only gun you're carrying is a 22, then 100 rounds of 22 ammo is nothing. That's not a lot of weight. And one more. What are the patches going to look like was the other question. The patches are going to be round and they're going to be in military format. I specifically asked for military format. I asked for the border and everything else just like one of the round unit patches that they do in the military. But it's going to be in military format. It's going to have the same woods scene in the back, or I haven't decided yet, but I've started editing for a idea and I'm going to run it past people. But I'm going to do the bearded skull with the hatchets and the pipe and all that stuff. Same thing, but instead of the background being a woods scene, I'm actually going to do camo behind it in the background. So it's going to be that with camo in the background, and it's going to be done up just like a unit patch in kind of an assault tactical ACU, or I'm going to do different colors like ACU, and then you've got your coyote colors, your desert camo, your Marpat camos and things like that, your analog, and a lot of different ideas. I'm going to try it out in different schemes until I get a good idea of what I want to do. But I want to do something because not everybody's going to want a certain color or something like that. So I want to do something different, so this kind of mixes it up. It's ideas, a bunch of ideas. But yeah, those will probably be. He literally said that when I call him back, that he would literally be done with it and shipped out within like 3 days of my phone call. So it's not going to be too bad. But yeah, the Bug Out Bag series is going to be a lot of fun. And like I said, I'm going to start that. And then when I get that going, the items for the other stuff that they don't sell, like for comms, batteries, flashlights, they're still light type ordeals, but I'm still going to have to throw in a flashlight. The other thing I'm going to need that I haven't decided on yet, and this is kind of what I need everyone else's help with, I'm trying to decide because every time I do a Bug Out Bag series, I change weapons, I change tools. Weapons I've already decided, and I've already got a deal worked out for weapons. By weapons I mean firearms. Okay, so I'm working something out with firearms, and this is when we get to firearms, you're going to like what I do here. You're really gonna like what I do with the firearm stuff. You're gonna dig it. It's gonna be pretty crazy and interesting, something that a lot of people have never seen, but it's going to be different. But I'm going to take my time with it. We're going to get to that eventually, but I got to get through all the other stuff that goes in the bag first. But what was the other one that I needed help with? The main one is trying to pick a shovel, trying to pick basic tools. You know, what tools are we going to use for this kit? You know, from axe, from machete, from knives. What knives am I going to use?
He's
Right.
Savage Survival.
So that's questions for all of you. If you've got any ideas, just send me an email and let me know, because it would help if other people have got these cool ideas on what to pick out. Hey, dude, have you ever seen this before? Then I can go and look at it. If you've got the link or not, I don't care. Just as long as you've got the name
He's
right.
Defty.
But I'll go and look it up and see if I can get it. Like Mora blades and things like that, or you know, all these different things that are out there. I mean, I would love to get another bushcraft knife for this one, but I'm not sure what to get. I really am kind of, I'm kind of at a standstill. I can go look around all day and try and figure it out, but I need some ideas from other people, and I want to do a different solar type setup. I want to do different rechargeable batteries this time. It's just different stuff. I want to do a lot of different things this time, but I want it to be a lot more fun. I want it to be something that people can put together themselves. They don't need a list. They won't need a list for this.
Buy guns.
And later, guns, don't cut all your trees down.
Good luck with your apple butter.
Your apple butter. You don't need trees anyways. Winter's coming.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need them.
You should plant more, actually.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't need trees. He can
No, he does.
He can just cut them all down. Well, he can't. He can't see 1,000 miles away from the top of his balcony with all those trees in the way. That's the problem.
Sarcastic. It's okay.
I know. I'm just messing with him too. Yeah, but there's just so much crazy stuff. Do you like WC knives? I've heard of WC knives. Mora blades are always cool. Copperhead, you're still making me a knife. I've still got you on my to-do list. The things that because I've got that's when when the knife comes, I know I've got work to do. So that means there's going to be a sheath in the works. I'm always doing leather craft, and Chipper told me I need to slow down, and he's not kidding. There's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes here that people don't see. And I mean, I really wish all of you could see what I do here and what Sippy does and how busy we really are. But we've had some prayers answered this week, and
Thank you, Anthony Miller.
a lot has changed. We got a lot of really good things just lifted off. It's not like anything major, but we had a lot of weights lifted off of us. That
typical life stresses.
Typical life.
Seems like it gets a little darker in some areas, and it's just never gonna clear up, and you're never gonna see the end of it. And then you just keep praying and hoping and have faith. And
Puma knives are cool.
And it helps. So, buy them.
I've got a couple of
endure to the end.
There's a couple of knives that I need to put together. They need
EDE, babe.
Huh?
Endure to the end.
Gotta endure.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a couple of knives I've got that need handles. I've got to put together, and after I'm done putting them together, I've got to make sheaths for them. This time with this kit, I want to actually make a sheath for a knife and actually put it in the bag.
Thank you, BG Prepper.
That sheath, that tracker knife is nice, but it's my trip knife. You know, I won't throw that in a bug out bag because it's my trip knife. It's the knife that I take with me on my adventures.
Hey, Cat.
That me and Guns do annually. Annually, Guns and I take these wild adventures off in the mountains, and that the tracker knife that I have, the Hunter Tracker, is the knife that I have for that. And I don't ever want to part with that, throwing it in a bug out bag. My daughter. I'll tell you what she's saying when she gets in here.
The fly?
Yes, that's what she's saying.
She's freaking out.
Yes, it probably landed on her. She does not like. Thank you, Lester. You are awesome.
Oh, thank you, Lester.
You are awesome, Lester.
I haven't
Thank
talked
you.
to you in a little while, buddy. Hope you're doing good.
He's been commenting on the series.
No, you don't get that.
He's commented a few times on the series.
Did you pee through your...
Uh-oh.
Smell that.
No,
Smell
I don't wanna.
It feels wet and moist. Smell it.
It's normal, I think. I'm not
Alright.
sure. I can't pick up any strange odors. There's nothing like the smell of a kid's diaper in your face. Nothing like it. But that's the parent detection system. That's how we know. You gotta check. It's pretty funny. Rob Marks, thank you, brother. You are awesome.
Okay.
I always get screwed up every time I throw my fist up and it's like way over here. But there you go. Fist bump. Thank you, Rob.
Thank you, Rob Marks. Fist bump.
What are you doing with her?
She's getting her own diaper.
Oh, she's getting her
But
own.
she's going to wipe her own butt. Just kidding.
I tell you what, man, they're pushing them sooner and sooner these days. 2 years old, they got to wipe their own butt.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, killing me. She needs camera time. Tracy. Yeah, Ellie Ninja is always on the scene. She's got to be in the shot. And I tell you what, I think Drew wants to spend more time in front of the camera than anything.
Mm-hmm. He fully awakened.
Fully awakened. Yeah, so every time I'm filming, and look, I don't do that stuff on purpose. Where the kid walks in the room, no. She hunts me down. She literally hunts me down. She knows I'm back there filming, and I've already got all her stuff for her that she needs. And she does not need my help with anything. So as soon as I walk off and I turn the camera on, she's like, what are you doing? Like, she'll open the door and go, Daddy, what are you doing? I'm making a video. Can I come in? Sure. Come on in. And it's like, can I sit in your lap? Sure can. But she just, that's just what she wants to do. She doesn't want to go hang out by herself or anything and watch cartoons and stuff like she normally does. But she wants to come hang out with me and make videos. I don't care. I'm not going to tell her she can't come in there. I'm not going to say no. But, what was I going to say?
Your 50 BMG round?
You want me to talk about that?
Yeah.
Okay. Who wants reloading advice? All right. It's something that gets brought up a lot in TV land and internet world, internet stuff. All right. So this could be any round. I mean, from 308 to 556 to whatever it is, right? It does not matter what the round is. This just so happened to be laying in my toolbox, but this is for a 50 cal. I've got a stack of these I need to reload, okay? But once fired brass, this is Lake City brass right here, by the way. But this is a 50 BMG, and are you talking over me? Huh? And there's a not fired bullet. Now, the question is, what's up?
Just keep talking.
What are you doing? Don't knock everything over. Okay, I can't keep talking. I gotta fix all this. I can't get to the keyboard. There we go. What is that anyway? Alright. What is this? Alright, here we go. So the question is, now a normal rounds everybody knows what a normal round looks like. It looks like this, right? That's normal.
Yeah, it's completely normal.
Completely normal, right?
Everybody has one of those.
That's not what I meant. It's the point. All right. The question: can you fire one loaded backwards? Instead of this, like this, what if you flipped it around like this? And that's your tip. Can you fire one backwards? That's the question. The answer, yes. It doesn't change the pressures. It doesn't change the powder. It doesn't change the primer. Nothing changes about it. You can flip it around. What goes straight through, if it's pointed in the right direction, say like this. There we go. Like this. I know. Don't get her worked up. Don't get her worked up. Don't get her worked up. You calm down over there. All right. If it's pointed like this, it has a better chance of shooting straight through. But when it's flipped around like this, it works as if it's a Hydra Shock hollow point. All right. I know that seems a little weird, but that's how it works when it comes out the barrel. It does cause the case to split. So rewards from this, you end up with a exploded target when you hit something with this. It literally just, the pieces of it just go everywhere. It doesn't matter. Pieces of it go everywhere. It doesn't matter what caliber it is. It can be any caliber, but it'll literally destroy a target. And it does cause, I think, and as far as class 3 body armor and stuff like that, it would shred it up a little bit, but not, not the same as a pointed round if it's spin around the other way. But if you hit flesh, it's going to explode. Say if you've got a 7.62 that's flipped backwards and you hit, say, a hog,
Wolfston.
The hog is going to blow to pieces.
Yeah.
Now
That's gonna be pureed.
But if you had it the pointed end facing out, it's going to pass into the hog.
Yeah, I think so too.
Instead of blowing the hog to pieces.
Yeah, I think so.
But if you had one loaded like this, it's going to blow it to pieces. All right. So it's a little bit different effect just by flipping it around. If you have the cone face forward, it's going to cause a tumbling effect, right? Whereas this little pocket that's in here, you see that pocket of brass, or you got your copper jacket, then you've got your lead inside. That lead shrapnels. It goes all over the place, everywhere. It's crazy. But the lead literally goes all over the place, and it shrapnels like a shotgun. And it just, pieces go everywhere. And but what happens to your brass case is the other thing. The brass case actually splits. It'll split. Your primer is going to buckle. It's going to come out a little bit. It could cause a catastrophic failure and blow your firearm to pieces. Could, but most likely not, but deemed unsafe. This is for the internet world out there who just wanted to know the answer to that question. That's me. I've reloaded a lot of ammo, and I've shot a lot of bullets that look like that, just because I'm crazy.
Started one fire.
Started a few fires. I've started a few fires. But yeah.
Would accuracy suffer? But with that big of a round, it don't matter.
It won't suffer.
Right. Oh.
Because it's a rifle round, okay? The thing is that it's being hurled like a football regardless, right? So the pressures, people are going to ask this question too. Let me hold this up. So let me get this right. There we go. All right. So the pressures come around here, okay? See that round part of the cone? It kind of makes a cone shape on both sides. The same amount of that get the same amount of pressures right here versus if you turned it around. It's still going to have the same pressures, and it's going to be right here. It's the same thing. It doesn't matter. It's almost the same size from here to here. It's almost the same shape, like a football. So it's not going to matter. It's still going to sit the same pressure, but you just don't have that flat part there, and that flat part is not going to matter to make this thing shoot. And accuracy wise, it's still going to travel straight. It's still going to go right down the range. It's still going to hit the target, but the effect of flat nose versus pointed nose hitting the target is a big difference.
Hey, to Brazil.
The flat nose, when it hits a target, it's a mess. It is awful. And like I said, if it hits meat, i.e. human body, it's an explosion. And that's from just a 7.62 doing it. If you had a 7.62 you flipped around, that's about what it would do. So those of you that have seen, I've seen situations where someone's reloader machine has malfunctioned and it's, they're reloading 40 Smith & Wesson. That's a high pressure round. Me, when you said reloader's going off, hey, look, hey, Billy, these bullets are backwards. It doesn't matter. It doesn't change a thing. It's still high pressures. It's still the same amount because the reloading die still pressed it in the amount it needed to be, and everything is still the same. The powder is still the same. Nothing changes. It'll still shoot out of your gun the same way as if it was flipped around the other way. It just does a different effect when it hits the target because it does not have a copper jacket covering the nose. So when it flips around, but when it comes to 40 Smith & Wesson, you still have copper. I think the whole thing's fully copper coated.
Hey, Waylon.
You're still fully copper coated, so you'll be good to go. So it doesn't matter if it's upside down, if it's sideways, whatever. It's still going to come out the barrel. It's still going to hit. It's not going to be as accurate, as awesome as one that's flipped around the right way. But the question is, will it still shoot? Yes, it will still shoot. Will my gun blow up? Well, possibly when it comes to rifle rounds, when it comes to rifles, okay? When you get into rifle calibers, your case is going to split. Your case is going to split because of the cone shape. The cone shape travels too far, and that shape will actually cause the case of the brass to split slightly, and your brass is done after that. So you won't be reloading these again. But if cause and effect, like if you want some effect from a round, then backwards would be the thing to do, but it's not recommended.
Yeah, I would say
ever.
Not, no. I'm not Mad Patriot. I got my intense face look. Like, comments. Gotta keep up. I got my Mountain Dew Code Red, so I'm good. I thought Code Red would be appropriate for this channel.
But I figured I would get that out there. I know I've been asked before, and it's been talked about before, and I am planning more reloading videos. I've got to make a trip because I'm actually missing a couple of items, but we're going to start reloading again shortly. And I think everybody's going to like doing that too. That's another thing everybody likes doing. What was I going to talk about next?
Hazmat.
There's that. Well, I could talk about hazmat some. That's the other thing I was going to talk about. Because Finger Lakes Prepper got me started on that. That was the topic you had for the other night. And when I walked in the room and I heard that going on, I got to thinking of a lot of different things that could be mentioned, which would be a lot of fun to talk about, which is always good to talk about. The hazmat, mixing chemicals together, because there's literally hundreds of different chemicals you can mix one in one of, and it will cause a gas. You know what I mean?
I'm relieved there's no SHTF today. Patriots, a little bummed, but I'm not. I'm kind of glad.
No, that's the thing. Oh, okay, I'll get back to the hazmat in just a second.
Sorry.
But
hi, Tracy. Welcome back, bud.
The video I did talking about that, I didn't even want to do it. I only did it for the subscribers that asked. That's the only reason why I did it. And a lot of people asked me to do it. I thought I would give my take on it. And like I said, you're better off not sign seeking. That was the main point of the video. And just be yourself, man. Live your life.
Eat
take your
unicorn meat.
eat unicorn meat, drink your coffee, go about your day as advertised every single day of your life. You know what I mean? There's the only signs you need to be looking for are the ones on the side of the road that tell you to stop,
Or to yield.
or to yield, or
Hi, Matt.
what the speed limit is. Those are the signs more people need to pay attention to. Just that's kind of the point. I just didn't want to. You guys know I don't get nasty or anything, so that's just.
Gosh, Perry, you turd.
But I did get a lot of nastiness from doing that.
Costco pizza.
That people didn't even watch the video. They thought I was another kook. They thought I was a guy that was just, you know, trying to convince people that it's real. It's real, and you're all gonna die. And like it was one of those videos. Literally, a guy actually wrote, "I'm sitting." Let me quote this guy real quick. I'm sitting in my deer stand. I mean, just from his words, I actually felt this. This is what I felt like his voice sounded like from what he wrote me. I'm sitting in my deer stand right now. It's it's 6 in the morning, and I'm still alive, and nobody died. Y'all need to take this stuff down. Y'all need to delete this stuff right here.
Good night, Nico.
And that's what I got. And not just that, but I had like pastors from like all sorts of places just screaming at me, loud letters, like nothing but capital letters, right? And they would calm down every now and then and write lowercase letters, but mostly it was all capital letters. It was nothing but capital letters. It was like, um, well, that's because of this, this, and this, and this, and the other thing, and that right there, and this over here, and dude, okay, look, bro. I'm not gonna sit and write every bit of that. I'm not gonna put all that together and then get on, and it would be a 10-hour special, right? I would have like an hour-long video if I put all that in there. Okay, look, I think I summarized what I needed to say in my little video, which was about 14 minutes of someone's life. I think my blood pressure is fine. But it's
your
just
face isn't quite as red as your beard yet, so
yeah.
it's okay,
But but it's just the nasty comments that I got from that. It was just awful. And some people I was actually very disappointed in. People I know it sounds funny, but some people I was actually very disappointed that I talked to all the time had just totally flipped a switch on me and went from um, buddy pal friend to I hate you and I hope you die. And I'm like, who is this guy? He's not the same person I talked to yesterday. But that's what it turned into.
It's all right. It's okay. Let's just move on.
But you know what I mean. It was just crazy, man. Everyone else, for all the people who got it and understood what I was saying, that's awesome. And just took it for what it was. And that is just a video. I didn't need all the drama that came from that, though.
Well, you're always going to get drama. It's just a lot of drama.
That's the other thing.
Just a lot of dramatic people. It's okay.
There's a lot of drama. There is a lot of drama. It's everywhere. But it is what it is. And like I said, I didn't want to do the video, but I did it anyway because I just wanted to tell people what it meant, what it all means. And I actually had a lot of people tell me I had no idea this was a thing. And I said, I am very informed because I didn't really know it was a thing either, but apparently it is. So I figured I would tell people about it. Okay. And this is what it means.
Hazmat.
You want me to do hazmat now?
Let's do something.
Okay. Shifting gears, yes. Hazmat. Here we go.
Or what else were you going to talk about?
I started hazmat a while ago, and then you switched me to this. Now I'm switching back to hazmat.
Switch nothing.
Okay, I'm switching back to hazmat now.
Okay. Thank you, Fully Awakened.
What was that?
He says, we love you, brother.
Yeah, well, I love all you guys. Like I said, I'm just answering questions when I do those videos. PG Prepper, you're killing me, man. All the Costco pizza talk. So,
Perry started it.
Oh yeah. But the thing is, so when it comes to hazmat, so I walked in on Finger Lakes Prepper, and he was doing a live broadcast, and he had discussion was going about hazmat. Okay, hazmat scenes and stuff like that. You've got if you see people passed out, they don't look like they've been physically injured, but they just kind of like fell down and fainted, kind of thing. And you look for the signs, right? And you look for those signs to see if there's hazmat nearby, right? And if there is hazmat nearby and they've passed out or something like that, don't go running off into it like Ricky Recon trying to save the day, right? So your what is it, Ricky Rescue for all of
Ricky
you?
Rescue.
That's right, Ricky Rescue for all of you guys. So if you're Ricky Rescue and you're trying to save the day, you don't want to go running off in there, D to D, trying to pull somebody out when it could be a gas because there's so many different chemicals you can take and just mix them together. It only takes one of and another one, two together, boom,
Ammonia and
gas.
bleach.
That's an instant one. Ammonia and bleach is instant, like boom. But there's other stuff too, like with different types of stuff. This with a catalyst for something, or something that goes with something else. You can take those items, mix them together. It's boom. It's instantly a gas. You won't see it.
Hey, Patricia.
You won't see it in the air. You won't necessarily smell it right away. But sometimes if you smell something, it's too late, and you're already sucked into it, and it's already going to cause you to pass out. So going and rescuing someone that's on the ground, and you see their legs sticking out, or whatever.
Good night, Bobby Parker.
Good night, Bobby. And you're going to go save the day. Just be careful with stuff like that. It's good to call for help and assess the scene a little bit better before you just go running in there. But it's just good advice to know that stuff instead of. Is he leaving too, or is he coming in?
Who?
Oh, R. Connor. I was just seeing if he was leaving.
Oh, hey, R. Connor. R. Connor.
But it's good to assess the scene first before you go running in there being Ricky Recon, Ricky Rescue, and saving a day and dragging a body away. But assess the scene first and put some PPE on and then go in. All you need is a mask. If you're in that type of environment, you probably won't be allowed to wear a beard like myself. But people who work in environments like that usually have to keep a clean shaved face and usually have to have a fit test done and things like that when they work around a lot of chemicals. But it's always good to know that. But it's good to keep that in the back of your mind for like SHTF type ordeals, because if it is life after people, right? And they could have, an earthquake could have happened. Okay, let's just say an earthquake happened, and there happened to be a hazmat spill, and chemicals got mixed together. It created a gas, and a bunch of people are knocked out, and all you see is a bunch of people knocked out, or one knocked out.
Night Wolf.
But at least you know what the signs are. If you see someone on the ground, start looking for signs. Look to see if there's a hazardous material sign, or it'll say corrosive. It'll have like the corrosive sign. It's got like the little acid dripping on the hand. It's got the hand burning. Symbols like that. If you start seeing stuff like that, that's when you see someone on the ground, you see signs, then take precautions and just don't go rushing into it until you can get maybe some scuba. Scuba's I used to know the abbreviation words, but I'm not going to say them. It doesn't really matter, but it's basically an oxygen tank and a mask, and it supplies fresh air to your face. So basically, a guy like myself that has a beard, it wouldn't matter if I have a beard or not. I could take my beard and tuck it into my shirt and throw on a mask. It's supplied air. It goes to my face. It blows around my face. For a fitness, you don't have to have a tight fit for something that blows your face, because the air is rushing all around your face, so it won't matter. Nothing's getting in there. Because you ever seen those restaurants that's got the little fans that blow the air when you open the door? The fan blows down to push all the flies out, keep the bugs out of their establishment. Works the same way with supplied air and scuba, things like that. Supplied air would be like the guy that goes underwater, with the tank hat on, and he's got the hose that runs to his head, and he jumps out of the boat, and you crank the thing, and he gets oxygen that way. But that's supplied air. That's what that is. But self-contained breathing apparatus. That's
Vandal.
scuba. But there's one more part to scuba. I can't remember the full thing for scuba. There's a lot more. There was a lot more to it, but I think scuba was just self-contained breathing apparatus, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, N95 will only work for particulates, not vapors. That's just
Yeah,
backwoods.
yeah, backwoods. That's definitely right. Well,
I-
backwoods knows all this stuff.
Yeah. I think that's just going to be the hardest thing for a lot of people, including myself, is to not just dive in head first and go rescue somebody that you see is um, in distress without assessing the scene first. For me, I mean, it'd be my kids. I don't think I'd be able to stop myself from doing that,
Yeah,
but it's just something like you said, you got to keep in the back of your mind.
yeah. You're being able to rush up to the scene's not going to happen, and like he said, thinking about that, a lot of people. This was another thing that bugged me. Watching a lot of from let's go back to like Doomsday Preppers, for example. How many of them you would see, like the Yahoos, that would just say, oh, I've got these N95 filters, and that's all they had, right? All they had was an N95 filters, and like because they had like these kits for decontamination, and part of the decontamination kits included N95s and nitro gloves and Tyvek
What
suits.
about CRBN masks?
That's I'm not going to get into all the that's those I can't I'm not going to get into all that stuff right now. Like I said, I want to cover the basics of stuff. I only brought up, like I said, I only brought up scuba just to get that out of the way and just keep going. I don't want to get too far down the rabbit hole, but
Thanks,
because
Ricardo.
there's so many different so many different types of masks. I just want to kind of keep it. Let's just keep it full face, half face, and N95. I don't want to get too crazy. And your different types of gas mask, like that for chemical, biological, all that stuff. That's a whole nother world. Like, masks like that are used for pretty much everything, so it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter if it's particulate, vapor, all that stuff. It works for everything. And then when you get your like he's talking about there, your 3M filters or your 3M mask, all the ones that you see that are full face will work for everything. And the reason why I tell people to get a full face and not to go with a half face or something that just covers this portion here, like an N95, for example, is for particulates, right? An N95 is not going to protect you. Say, this is always a question,
Can
all
I
right?
try and survive?
This is always a major question, right? Nuclear type stuff, all right? Let's talk about fallout. Now, when it comes to fallout, the particulates from fallout that go into your eyes, it's still going to cause the same problems. And I mean, your gamma stuff's still going to happen, right? But stuff going into your eyes, that's going into your ears. See, you've got to cover everything up. It's people think that, well, I've got my N95, I'm good to go. But an N95 will stop that stuff, but you got to wear eye protection. It's got to be sealed. You got to seal up your eyes. And the other thing is you got to cover your skin. Your skin's got to be covered. You can't even have your hands exposed. It's like sticking your hand into a radioactive vault. It's not going to go well. It's going to cook.
Your skin's porous. It'll seep through.
Your hands are going to hurt when when you see like a movie or something, you don't feel pain. You don't feel pain from watching a movie. So someone's skin's burnt. True story.
Mm-hmm.
Someone's skin's burnt from the microwaves, right? So their skin's burnt from the radiation cooking them. So you got alpha, gamma, and beta, right? So all that cooking going on, and your skin's starting to look all jacked up. They feel that. It's a feeling. You're going to feel what that is like. It's going to hurt a lot. This isn't like, how many people got a paper cut before? Could you imagine having 1,000, 1,000,000 paper cuts on your arm? That's what it's going to feel like. It's going to be awful. So you're going to need gloves, and you're going to need something to cover your arms up. And people ask, well, what about a Tyvek suit?
Bunny suit.
That's a bunny suit. Tyvek suit and bunny suit's the same exact thing. But a Tyvek suit, if the key word to look for if you're wanting to purchase bunny suits is Tyvek. So you look up Tyvek and you'll find those there. You can get the rubber suit ordeal. One thing to keep in mind with Tyvek suits and like the bunny suits and all this other stuff, whatever you see them listed as, you sweat a lot. When you put one on, you lose a lot of fluids. It's real fast. It's like being in full mop kit. So when you're there's different mop levels for those of you out there that know what I'm talking about. But there's different mop levels. You can get mop gear. You go to Militaria, type in mop gear, and it should come right up under Militaria. Different sizes, different camo patterns, and things like that. But eBay's probably going to have a big run on mop gear right now, right? So Tyvek suits are usually a big deal, and nitrile gloves is one thing, but not just nitrile gloves, but you want some of those thick rubber gloves as well. It's good to have a set of them. But a Tyvek suit is probably not going to work as good as mop gear would work. Mop gear is going to work a whole lot better. But you're going to be hot in a Tyvek suit just the same. Your clothes, you're going to sweat so bad, your clothes stick to you, and your Tyvek suit's going to stick to you. You're going to sweat a lot. You're going to feel it. You're going to be wanting to chug water, but you can't because you're wearing a respirator, you're wearing a gas mask. You can't get the water in as fast. That's why you got to make sure you've got a drinking tube for your gas mask so you can at least get some water, because you're going to need a lot of water if you're wearing all that
for a long time.
Trevor. You're going to sweat so bad. It's going to be awful. But there's so much to think about when it comes to radiation. There's so much to think about. Like, yes, I'm not going to say you can't make it, because you're not dealing with gas. You're not dealing with a gas. You're not dealing with a vapor when it comes to a nuke. When it comes to fallout, you're not going to be dealing with that. An N95 would do the job, but you need to cover your face. You need to cover your eyes. You need to keep the stuff out of your eyes. You need to cover your skin, your hands, everything. Plug your ear holes up. You know what I mean? It's just stuff you got to do. Sometimes I hate telling people stuff because it's like, man, I wish I never learned that.
We don't want to depress her.
I don't want to depress or discourage anyone.
Hey, John.
Why did you tell me that? I'm sorry. I did not mean to get you upset. I did not mean to do it.
The truth is ugly. We're sorry.
But I'm always listening to other people's ideas. People email me all the time, and they give me ideas. I got an idea.
Hey, Rob Painless. Hey, buddy.
They tell me something else.
Better late than never.
Hey, Rob. How's it going?
Fashionably late, Rob.
But yeah, there's a lot of different things you can do. But I'm just trying to keep it simple, though. I don't want to get too far down the abbreviation rabbit hole and confuse a lot of people. A full face covers your whole face, and then your half face is just right here, right? And you can go with either one of them. You can go to Home Depot or Lowe's and buy a full face 3M or a NIOSH approved mask, and it does the exact same thing as a gas mask would do. It's not going to change anything. I mean, you're not going to be running into a burning fire or anything, right? But heat does change a lot. As long as there's no high heats, you're good. You're all right. Military grade gas mask is meant for heat. You can put fire on it. You can, it can withstand a few minutes of flame, versus it's just like the suits we get issued, like frog suits. When I was in Iraq and I got issued frog suits, I still got all my frog suits and stuff, but the they're like flame retardant. Some things were flame retardant, some aren't. Don't put a fire to them; they'll literally catch and the whole thing just disintegrates. But I mean, we got issued a lot of different things, and there's a lot of that stuff that that you can actually wear in any type of element. It doesn't matter what it is. It's breathable, and uh, that goes with the mask. But if you're gonna, it depends on what you're preparing for. And the other thing with this bug out bag series that I'm doing this time, and it's I guess it's kind of good that we brought this up because this was the other part of the series that I didn't even want to say, but I'm going to say it. This bug out bag's being set up for NBC as well. I'm doing a full scale NBC portion for this bug out bag, so it's going to be a little different. I'm throwing in items from for NBC because I think what inspired me to do this because I got to seeing. I watch a lot of gear reviews, and you love gear reviews, right? I don't care. I just want to see stuff, but I know that they're being I know they're not judging it correctly, right?
Bottle cap.
I know that they're saying what they want to, what they're trying to be nice, right? They're trying to be nice when they say these things. I want the truth. I want to know the truth. But I know what works and what doesn't work. And I recently saw some unboxing of battle boxes. Enough battle boxes to make one person sick. But I sat and watched it because I like to get ideas to do my whack videos. Because I do the fake box reviews, the fake monthly subscription box reviews.
Hey, Food Winnie, Caleb.
I was getting ready to do another whack video, and it's going to be in the next few days. I'm going to do another whack video. It's the whack monthly subscription box because I have to keep everybody
Good night,
tuned up.
Waylon and Lucky. Good luck, Waylon. Just email him if you have any questions, and
Yeah, just email me.
he had some questions earlier, but I don't remember what they were.
I'm still working on the inside. I'm still working on the inside of the truck. I gotta finish the inside of it. It's not done all the way. I don't want to make some half shoddy video of the inside of my truck. Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about the next bug out?
Next bug out vehicle.
I know Ricardo's dying to know.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make some half shoddy video of the inside of the truck, but we are gonna do some. This winter, I'm actually gonna carry the camera out, and I'm gonna. It's when it snows and it's epic and it's crazy, and I'm gonna do some adventuring around in the snow and play around in the snow. By play around, I mean work in the snow. What was I saying? So, I was watching these battle box videos, right? I'm like, no, they didn't. No, they didn't. What was it? Mission 6, I think. What was it called?
Thanks,
I keep
Caleb.
up with this stuff. I like this stuff. I watch stuff. I can't afford it, but I watch it. She lets me watch it. I'm allowed to watch. But
It's like the home shopper. It's horrible.
yeah, it's definitely.
I
Like
mean,
home shop.
everybody would just buy everything.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like, no, just say
No,
no.
just watch it and see what it's all about. So I'm watching all these different battle boxes and stuff, and it's like, is that really all they put in that thing? Like, first thing, my first reaction was, really? Is that it? And I get to thinking, well, I know where to get that.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Oh,
Huh? What?
Decoritsu 81. Raise comment.
I'm change my hobby video games that are working and yeah. Hey, There's nothing wrong with leather work. I'm telling you. You know what? It's a skill. It's a skill that one could barter and trade with during end times when currency is nothing. Um, when the economic collapse hits, right? Just throwing out ideas, okay? I'm not being like super extreme, so take it for what it is. If, right? If there was an economic collapse or if there was an EMP, if there was some sort of chaotic event that led us back to some times of the 1800s, right? Or the 1700s, you're going to be making some stuff and you're going to hope that your hands, your little sausages could do some physical labor other than some other things. And I think it's great to be able to woodwork, to do leather crafts, to make things, build a house, paint a self portrait. I'm starting to sound like Fight Club. I wasn't wanting to go down there.
Should Ricardo get that 4x4?
But you know what I mean. You know what I mean. It's good. It's good skills. It's skills. You can do stuff.
All right, Chuck was asking, what do you feel the biggest threat to us is right now?
What's the biggest threat to us right now? I never thought I would say this, but it's it's ego. Ego is our biggest threat.
That's true. Too many countries trying to
It's too many.
flex the testosterone.
It's just an ego now. I don't know what that is. I just don't understand it. But I mean, you're talking about a young man that has already killed his family. He's already killed his family, and he's he's a dictator, and he's got people that it's so fake. The fake laughter, the fake claps, all the clapping and the laughing is just so they don't get shot in the head.
It's very over exaggerated.
Very over exaggerated. The only reason why they act the way they do in North Korea is so they don't get shot in the head. Now, when I was stuck in South Korea for many deployments in South Korea, it was just crazy. The people that were jumping the fence to get over. They did not want to stay over there. The people that the immigrants rushing into South Korea from North Korea, they don't feed people. People don't eat. There's no food. There's people are going hungry. Kids are dying in the street. They show you like one city. In North Korea, they show you the one thing that makes television all the time is the one city. The one city that looks spectacular and amazing and big buildings and America, look at what we've done. Look at how awesome we are. No, it's not like that. People are dying in the street. It's mud and nastiness and it stinks. It's not nice. It's not a cool place. It smells like, I mean, the closer you get, the more it smells like a trash can. Okay? I'm telling you right now. It's not what it is, just a mess. I mean, they haven't even sent astronauts to the moon. All right? I'm going to say that first. But the next thing is, should you be afraid? Us, we're the United States. Why would we be afraid? But you ain't got nothing to be afraid of. But I'm not going to talk like that because that's part of ego, right? You know, you don't want to have any. That's part of this. That's the point. You know, because they know that each and every one of us have that, like, us, whatever. You know, I'm not worried about them. You know, but that's part of what started this. When you have the other part that goes with this.
At least 25 bandanas.
At least 25 bandanas.
Sorry, John was wondering how many bandanas I have.
She has a lot of different color bandanas. They're nice. I wear bandanas too. I just don't wear them all the time. It's usually in the wintertime. I let my hair grow out.
Hey, T-Pix.
I sprout it out all crazy and then I tie a knot and just whatever.
Anyways, you're on a good roll.
I'm trying to. You were talking about bandanas, so I've got a good point. Sorry, I've got a good point. I lost it, but it's back. Okay, I picked it back up. Take it on the left foot. Take it. I got it. All right. So the thing is, here in the United States, where you have, young men, young women that can sit down and relax and play video games. They have Wi-Fi. They have internet. They have cable television. I'm not trying. It's not a pity party. Don't think that before I get started. Okay. Oh, woe is me. But let's focus on what's going on here. All these things that we have here in the United States are freedom. We can walk outside, breathe air. Billy can jump on his bicycle and pedal down the street to the Quickie Mart and go pick up a fresh chocolate Yoo-hoo and jump back on his bike and cruise back home and tell his mom to kick rocks and sit down and play video games. Okay, that can happen here, whereas there that can't happen. And the things that people can say, well, our president's a yahoo and blah 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 blah, and and he can kick rocks too and blah blah blah. If you said that there, little Billy, 10 years old, 5 years old, would get drugged out into the street, tied to a tank, and drugged down the road. Okay? And then Lord knows what else would happen to the kid. That's what goes on there versus here. Now, the difference, all right, there's a major difference. There's a major difference in communism, right? And then us, okay? Let's just say that. Let's just keep it that. That's about as far as I want to go into this to really sum this up. But that's the difference, right? And there's a reason why everyone looks a little over exaggerated when they're clapping. When they look like that, when someone's making a speech and stops every now and then to pause, look at me and how awesome I am. If that's going on, you don't see that coming from our White House, do you? You got people out there like, is he talking again? Whatever. Is it time for lunch? Did you get Dunkin' Donuts? Man, I'm out of here. You know what I mean? Costco's Pizza? What time is it? All right. You know what I mean? That's us. There's a big difference here. And that has a lot to do with that. All right? That's why we don't need to be here. That's why he doesn't want us here. That's why all the other countries that surround us want us to go away. But, well, I can't say that about Canada. I guess I can't, because Canada actually, it's not too bad. I mean, what they got in Canada is cool. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. It's just a joke. Oh, I love Canada. But it's beautiful there, too. That's the other thing that people don't even know about.
Well, the first settlers couldn't survive in Canada.
No, they couldn't.
In the beginning, they had to learn from the Native Americans to...
Native Americans.
We wouldn't have made it if it wasn't for the Native Americans, tell you what.
Native Americans. All right, so...
Anyways.
But you guys get that? You guys get what I'm saying? I'm sure. And, I mean, I got to see a lot of it firsthand. I mean, even in South Korea, it's bad. They barely get by. They don't have any money. And, walking down the street, I had ladies from stores coming out of the store trying to sell me Ferrari cologne. I don't know what Ferrari cologne is, but I didn't want it. But she was trying to get it in my bag, and she was screaming, you like, you buy, you like, you buy. I'm like, no, I don't like, no, I don't buy, I don't want it. I said, get off me, woman. And she chased me down the street trying to shove some Ferrari cologne in my backpack. But they do some very interesting things overseas to get money. Let's just say that, and that's all I'm going to say about that. But It's not like here in the United States, and that's why nobody likes us. All right, that's another reason why he's worked very hard to try and produce an engine that can travel long enough to hit us. But most people don't know what fallout shelters are supposed to look like. Most people don't know what fallout looks like. No, most people don't know what the size of a bomb will actually do, and how much of a city they will actually demolish if we did get hit with a hydrogen bomb. If you got hit by a hydrogen, don't say hydrogen bomb like it's some kind of thing, and people think that, well, if it's nuke, if we got hit with a nuke, blah, 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 the way they talk about these things, it's the way they talk about it, it's like, well, just, it's not that big of a deal. It's not like, a, a hydrogen bomb is a big freaking deal, bro. I'm telling you, if we got hit with a hydrogen bomb, you're talking not just a city. You're not talking, if you hit the center of Texas with a hydrogen bomb, dead center, you're going to take out almost all of Texas. It's going to be wiped out. I'm not talking about people, I'm talking about buildings. The buildings won't be there. There will not be buildings. They're gone. Concrete will turn to ash. You can't go inside of, when you see Fallout Shelter signs where it's got the Fallout Shelter logo, you guys remember, like, um, what was it? Civil Defense. You got your Civil Defense logos. You guys remember that stuff?
Hey, Texas son.
And you got your symbol that marks, this is a fallout shelter. This is a designated fallout shelter right here. Well, it's just like those parking garages, right? That are marked with that. They're still marked today all over the place with that logo, right? Those places will not be here if they got hit with a hydrogen bomb. They will
You
be
dropped
gone.
a bomb on me,
They would be
baby.
gone. Russia has the world's largest bomb.
But why are they talking about robots?
I don't know.
Like Putin's going off about crazy robots. They're gonna kill us all.
I don't know. But you know how in
I
the
don't
United
think he's
States,
wearing enough sunblock.
I remember people talking to me about, the mother of all bombs. Did you hear about the mother of all bombs? They dropped it, and it killed these ISIS dudes and whatever and blah
Father of
blah
all
blah.
bombs.
No, wait, I'm not done.
Ooh, did I just kill it? Oh, I'm a spoiler. Movie spoiler.
Well, everyone was saying how, the United States has the mother of all bombs. It's not that big of a deal, people. The mother of all bombs. The father of all bombs is the one that people need to be worried about
Bye,
because
Jim.
it's the one that can take out cities and cities, not just one little location, but it can take out multiple locations with one hit. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's stuff to think about, folks. Just stuff to think about. But
Or sing about.
Huh?
Or sing about.
Are you gonna sing about?
I already sang.
Oh, you did?
Dropped a bomb on me, baby.
You are not right.
I know. I blame society
Have you seen Finger Lakes Prepper tonight?
and TV. No,
Anywhere?
haven't seen him.
I know Survival Comms is still busy cleaning up and taking care of his house and stuff like that because he's living he's got some rough stuff going on around his area. So he got hit with a hurricane, so what's up? Anything new? You got anything for us, Sippy?
No.
No? Nothing?
No.
Nothing at all.
No,
No.
people are just doing friendly chit chat and education and
That's cool.
good stuff.
The Death Star. Yeah. Definitely the Death Star.
What?
I'm just reading the comments.
Oh, what? No, somebody thought I had cancer. Or somebody's family thought I had cancer. No, thank the good Lord I don't. I just like bandanas.
Okay. Thanks, Tracy. I was looking for them.
The best way to preserve
Okay,
food
Daniel.
and herbs. It just depends your resources. I mean, if SHTF does happen, you'll have to go back to salting
Mm-hmm. Salting
and
for sure.
drying out,
Now,
smoking.
if you guys if you guys are into gardening and you're growing herbs, and I know a lot of people would ask me because they know I dehydrate. I do dehydrating, and I haven't gotten into freeze drying because that's like $2,500 that we don't have yet. So one of these days we'll get into freeze drying stuff. But Small Blocks Fueling has got a new video up, and he private messaged me about some freeze dried food and ask me if I would be his guinea pig and taste test some of his stuff. I trust him. I trust him. I'm still a little sick. I'm still trying to get over my cold.
It's coughing all on me. It's cool, bro. Just share the phlegm.
That's not nice.
Book clubs.
So,
Buttless chaps. And North Korea and EMP satellites.
you're ridiculous.
That's
So-
what's up. Hi, Survival Comms.
Survival Comms.
Hi.
What was I saying?
Some about dehydrator freezers cost $2,500, and we'll get there one day. And
Okay. So Survival Comms is in the room. I'm gonna be his guinea pig. The Small Block Fueling. I'm supposed to be his guinea pig to try out his freeze dried fueling, freeze dried food, and he's sending me some to taste test.
freeze dry fueling.
Freeze dried fueling. It's one of those things. So what was I gonna say? And if you've got a dehydrator, if you want to dehydrate, you can. But what if you want a dehydrator or know how to dehydrate without electricity? You can go now and get the baskets, right? They're nets and they have trays. And these nets are square. It's like a square, and it's got these trays that go in there. You can load it up with anything you want, stick it in there, and let it dry.
Mm-hmm.
Let it dry out. Why don't you just say?
You're talking. I'm trying to not interrupt you.
But you do. You
gotta learn to just focus. Like, find your little dot on the screen.
thoroughly.
Focus.
I gotta find my power animal and just focus.
No totem poles are needed.
You're so ridiculous. Oh man.
Oh, he already got me sick, Cameron.
We're all sick.
We're just a bunch of sickos in this house.
Anyways, those of you that are watching right now, if you guys see Survival Comms floating up here in the comments, he's right there in the comments. If you click on Survival Comms and subscribe to him, he's like that close to being at 1,000. All right.
Oh, come on, get him to
It's
it,
like
people.
that close.
You gotta get him there.
Just help the guy get there.
Help him. He's
The next
so good
person-
and awesome. Just do it.
The next person to help is Finger Lakes Prepper. He's this close. They're neck and neck, tied, like almost tied. The same, same people. So it's just, it would be good for them and, monetization of their channel and things like that. All that stuff that goes with that. Because a lot of people lost their monetization button. When the chaos struck from YouTube, they actually pulled the button so no one could monetize their channels because, there's new rules now. So, just
I'd love to get a son oven.
Yeah, that's right. Finger Lakes Prepper is 65 away, and I think Survival Comms is like I just checked before I started. It was like 43 or so is all he needs to be there. But anyway, I figured I would say it. I was going to wait for there actually to be present and hear before I actually said anything about it. And I didn't want to say it without them being here, so they actually knew that I was mentioning it, and so people can kind of get the word around and let everybody know. But I hope it helps. I really like helping other YouTubers. I really do, and I do everything I can to help others. I've helped I've helped so many channels that I've lost count. I've literally lost count.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, Matt.
Fist bump.
Really
We
appreciate it.
appreciate it, buddy. We love you. Thank you very much.
But I've helped so many channels that I've lost count, and
So many channels have helped us that we
yeah.
lose
Oh yeah,
count.
yeah. Definitely. I'm not trying to sound like, oh, look at me. I'm over here, you know. But a lot of channels have helped me as well. But I have to make it a point to help others, and it's good that we do that as a community, and as you know, all of us are here. And it was good to do that, just to say, hey, look, I didn't forget about this. So, anyways, don't want to sound like a weirdo now. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking about it. I sound weird. I'm awkwardly walking away. There's so many situations where I'm like,
No,
okay.
you're okay.
Hey, hey, what was some of the other ones where I'm like, um, I was talking to someone. I'm getting distracted. I was talking to someone. I do this, and I catch myself, and then I correct myself, and then I walk away slowly. But there was someone on Instagram. They posted a picture, and it was one of those.
Thank you, Lord.
It was a.
Was it the
what's
Terminator?
What's it called? This thing here.
Stethoscope.
Stethoscope. But it was that's the. Say it again.
Stethoscope.
There you go. But it was the.
Stethoscope.
I'm not saying it again. It's something with my tongue. I can't say it. So it was digital. It was digital. It had electronics on it and stuff. I was like, wow, it's. I talk to this person all the time. They're on Instagram and they do prepping photos, and I thought it was cool. And I commented, and I was like, wow, we're fancy today. You know, we talk a lot, so it's okay for me to talk this way. I'm like, wow, we're fancy today. We've got the digital one, right? And they replied back, well, I'm hearing impaired, so I have to have it. And I was like, oh.
I'm feeling embarrassed for you.
Says, all right, I'm sorry. I'm awkwardly walking away now. I had no idea. I'm going to go cry in the car. So,
thank you, John White.
Thank you, John White.
We appreciate your support. Thank you very much.
I get in these situations all the time where I just didn't know, and I'm like, all right, I'm walking away now. I'm just gonna shake my head and walk away. I'm awkwardly walking away.
I think our 4Runner is a decent bug out vehicle.
Yeah, it is.
Somebody was asking. I can't remember.
Well,
it went so fast.
We were talking to a police officer the other day. We didn't get pulled over or anything weird before anyone starts thinking crazy. You know, when you say, I was talking to a police officer the other day, it's like, what did you do? But no, we were talking to a police officer the other day because he has one, and he actually was asking us about our roof rack. And it's just a normal roof rack. It was like $50. And we bought it on Amazon. That reminds me of another rant. Remind me of Amazon when I get done talking about this. But standard roof rack, and we did the center section for it and stuff. It's like $50 for the rack, and then it was like another 25. You get the center section, and you've got a full roof rack, and then you can get like the windshield, the wind visor, and all this other stuff. But he was just asking about that, and we did a bug out bag a long time ago. You guys remember my video, the thrift store bug out bag? If you guys remember that thrift store bug out bag, that's the bug out bag I keep in the 4Runner. It's okay by me. That's all I need. And the only new addition that I did was a couple of little things like knife. You know, I picked up an axe for it and stuff like that. But I keep a bug out bag in all the vehicles, and some people would call that a go bag or get home bag or whatever it is. I just call it a bug out bag, and I keep it in my truck. So, but I keep. Now the Suburban's a little different. I keep a personnel tent in there, and I have a backup tent as well. So I've got 2 tents. How many sleeping bags do we have in that truck? Like 4, 5, 5, right?
I don't know.
One,
They
2,
all mesh together.
1, 2,
I
3,
thought it was
4,
4.
5. No, we've got 5. We've got 5 in the truck, and then so we keep 5 sleeping bags in the truck, and we keep 2. One's a personnel tent. The other one's just an extra tent, and then uh, we keep bucket food storage in our truck. There's a whole nother section there for bucket food storage. But someone was asking me about doing another bug out vehicle video, and once I'm done squaring away the truck, I'm going to do another uh, take you around, show you some ideas type stuff. But the reason why I don't get too crazy with it with the trucks,
Good night,
because
Daniel.
good night,
you,
Daniel.
Rich.
But the reason why I don't get too crazy with the truck is because a lot of people don't have a truck like that, and they don't have a lot of room to store stuff like we do in the truck. There's a gun safe in the truck, right? So I mean, there's a lot of stuff in the truck that most trucks don't have. It's just not like that. And it's from the '80s. You know, a truck from the '80s with stuff done to it. We don't have a lot of money, so a lot of welding went into that truck. Everything's handmade. The bumpers are handmade. They're handmade from just a welder and measuring tape and some cutting tools. That's what it's all made from. A right angle cutter and some steel pipe and sheets of steel and cutting, and they're not Rhino line bumpers. They're Duracoat. Duracoat bed sealer was what was used on those bumpers to give them that effect that they're Rhino lined. But I did what we could with it. Underneath, the lift kit's pretty basic and standard. It's just all it is an add a leaf. There's what lift kit did you get? It's an add a leaf, bro. that thing's up that high because it's got an extra leaf added to it, and it's up off the ground. Some affordable shocks so that I could get by, and uh, that type of thing, but nothing crazy, and nothing's crazy underneath the hood either. It's just the whole thing underneath the hood is uh, uh, RTV. RTV'd most of the sealant. Yeah, I sealed up a lot of stuff. What's that?
Your face.
Your face. So RTV'd up a lot of the electronics so that water can't get into any of the electronics. And I ran a hose to the FJ snorkel. That snorkel's from an '80s FJ. A lot of the stuff that I did to that thing was just there. People was like, "Man, I bet you paid a lot of money for that snorkel. Them snorkels for them new Jeeps are like $500,000-$600,000." No, you want to know how much I spent on my snorkel for my truck?
How much?
$30.
Woo! Hot
eBay.
dog.
eBay, $30
Gives us
snorkel.
enough money to go get a Little Caesars hot and ready.
That's right, enough money for a hot and ready pizza. So, people are asking me, well, how does it fit? Heat gun. Get yourself an FJ, an 80 model FJ cruiser snorkel, and you'll find them on eBay for like $30. Get yourself a heat gun from uh, from Harbor Freight. There you go. Heat the tube up, bend it slightly, and put it into the position just like it would be on an FJ Cruiser, but leaned back a little bit. Fits perfect. There you go.
Don't worry, Matt. There's nothing wrong with a Ford. I have a Ford.
But you know what? I'm telling you right now, definitely balling on a budget. Amen. All the way.
Just don't go for their SUVs. Ford does not make very good SUVs. Especially their Explorers. I heard a lot of malfunctionings with the windows and locks.
Well, Ford has, with that year model, your F-350s and stuff.
No, I'm saying the SUVs.
Well, I mean, all of them, man. They have
Their
problems.
trucks are better, but
Well, all of them are good, but I'm just saying that Usually it's their windows, it's the electronics that go out. It's the windows, it's the power windows. Either the power window motor or the switches will fail. But um, I can't talk trash about Ford because first vehicle I ever owned was a Ford, and
Hmm. Mine was a Chrysler LeBaron.
I went through three Fords.
I went through multiple curbs and an accident on the freeway, and that sucker still ran and got me home.
That's a Chrysler, right? Chrysler, Plymouth, Dodge. There you go.
82 Chrysler LeBaron.
That thing's bomb proof
It
almost.
had plants growing in the under the hood.
Man, but I have had a lot of interesting vehicles, and my first Chevrolet I had was a 1966 Chevrolet Stepside.
Good night, been out of shape.
Good night, been out of shape. That was the first. That was my first Chevy. Was a '66, and
Good night, Ted.
it was it was not nice. Okay, it was not nice. Yeah, it was an old farmer's truck, but it had the straight six under the hood.
Wes,
It
you're
had the,
hilarious.
had a three speed on the column. It had a straight six under the hood, and everything got switched out, switched over to an automatic, and uh, all that stuff. Had to do a lot of work to it to get it back on the road, right? But it was a lot of fun. Even caught fire a couple of times. The headlights would do the lambada. I called it Christine, and then my friends called it Old Blue, and because it was
Mm.
blue. Hey, Old Blue, you know. But it had a lot of different names. People called it. Then from that moment on, I was stuck with Chevy. I went through three Fords, and then I got the Chevy, and then it was.
Three Fords and a Chevy later.
But it was a '66 Chevy. It wasn't like a
Yeah.
newer one, so the newer ones were not so hot. So I'm just saying. I had a lot better luck with the old Chevy versus a new Chevy. I'm just saying. The older Chevys seem to hold a little bit better, hold themselves together a little bit better. Hey,
Good night, Copperhead. Have a good rest of your weekend, buddy.
that's like, for example, if our square body was to hit something, and it would just be like, what was that? It'd be like a mosquito, whereas a new Chevy was to hit something like, oh, what just happened to your truck? You know what I mean? There's a big difference there.
Good night, Lester.
Big difference.
Thanks for coming by, buddy.
Old versus new. That's the category I would have to put this in. Old versus new.
Well, I love having an old vehicle because we don't carry. Scratch or paint. Try and dent our
Yeah,
metal
we
door.
we don't
Try
care.
it. We don't care.
I mean, I've went out to my truck, and people look at me weird because I've got a shopping cart stuck to the side of my truck. Somebody like pushed it into me, but I I kick it off my truck and get in and go. And huh? He wasn't even mad or upset. He could have ran that car over, but I didn't care.
Yeah, if you park too close to arc doors where we can't get them open, well, yeah, it's not going to be a fun day for your car.
Yeah, 394 is cool. Man, uh, I got the chance to drive a lot of interesting vehicles. That was cool. When I used to work for a guy named Hillbilly at the auto salvage place, and yes, his name was Hillbilly. Yes, he ran moonshine. So I worked for him. He had a lot of interesting stuff, and that's when I got to learn a lot about point systems and generators and things like that. I got to rebuild cars. It was cool putting stuff like that together, but I got to drive um, dang a a Ford Fairlane. It had a 351 under the hood that had a lot of work done to it, and it had so much work done to it
Good night,
that
bottle
they had
cap.
to they had to chain they had to use log chains to hold the motor in
Hmm.
because the motor would literally jump out of it. But we built interesting stuff when I stayed there. But that Ford Fairlane was awesome, and it was an awesome car to drive. It was great. I loved the the Fairlane. But then I got to drive a few different 50 models Chevys, you know, different types of from the 1950s. A lot of different vehicles from that time period. It was great. And then yeah, everything was 6 volt. Yeah, exactly. But we didn't switch it over either. You know, a lot of those old, you know, those like the 61 El Camino. I got to drive that around for a while. But when I worked for him, he would let me drive the cars. And one of the cars I picked was a 61.
Good night, Eric.
A 61 Impala. It was a 61 Impala, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. It was a two-door, and that's cool. It was a two-door 61 Impala, and it ran off a generator. And it was point system, and it was still on the 6 volt system. And I drove that thing around everywhere, dude. I had my arm out the side and everything. Yeah, look at me. But we had that, and then there was a few other cars I got to drive, and we would do Frankenstein stuff. And this is one of the Frankenstein things that I liked. We had an old Chevy Love, you know, the old Chevy Love pickups. We took a Chevy Love pickup and we put a 500 Cadillac front wheel drive. We took a cutting torch to a Cadillac that had a 500 under the hood. And it was
Joe.
back in the day. They had the front wheel drive.
Good night, Rich.
Good night, Rich. And had a 500 Cadillac under the hood, and it was front wheel drive. Okay, so what we did was we cut the frame rails, and then we lined that up with the back of the Chevy Love, and then we welded that up, and then we put the gas tank to the Cadillac under the hood of the Chevy Love, as much as we could get back in there, and we cut the firewall out, laid that in there, and then we took weights that hold down, you know, John Deere tractors. Well, we took the weights from the front of a John Deere tractor and put them in the front of the Chevy Love. And once we got everything, we welded the gears up in the steering box that goes to the front wheel drive steering. Once we got that welded up so it couldn't steer and we got it lined up right, we had a vehicle. So we fired it up. We had a tiny Chevy Love pickup with a 500 Cadillac sticking out from under the hood or under the truck bed. So when we pull up next to people, they would look into the truck bed and they could see a 500 Cadillac staring at them in the face. But not sleeping yet. What you talking about?
Oh, Tracy's video feed froze. My eyes were closed.
Oh.
Is Wes supposed to do the after show?
Do you want to do the what? Do you want to do the after show, Wes? It's getting late. Oh,
yeah.
Dang. Wow, we've been on here almost 2 hours.
Yeah.
Wes, it's up to you if you want to do the after show.
Good night, Texas sun.
I guess that's about it.
Yeah.
That's about all I got. Interesting stuff, strange stuff, and Amazon. I almost forgot.
Oh boy, keep it under an hour.
I just
minutes.
Real quick.
Snap
Don't-
it real quick.
Tiny little EDC kits and stuff that you see on Amazon when you're looking around. They come in like little black boxes and they've got stuff in them, right? I was recently going to do a video to show people, you know, how recently I've been doing I did like Walmart and, you know, this and this. Don't get the Amazon kits at all. I was hoping it would last long enough for me to actually be able to do the video. It fell apart. The whole thing.
Oh.
It didn't last. It was such a bad failure that I couldn't even complete the video. I'm serious. I didn't even get to complete the video. I started making the video. I was
Good
like,
night, Scott.
I did the whole welcome to SOS thing, and then I panned the camera over, and then I started unboxing. Well, I didn't even get to the part of the unboxing. The minute I took the wrapper off, and then I went to pop one of the snaps, the snap broke, and then the string, the lanyard that actually hangs onto the side of the box, it broke and then unraveled, and then opening the box all the way, then all the pieces, the ferrule rod broke, and a lot of other stuff broke on it. So yeah, it was a mess. So
Good night, per piece.
but it was so bad that I didn't even want to post the video. When I I got about 5 minutes into the video and I just said, this is just pathetic. This is disgusting. I cannot believe this. It was that bad. I just didn't even want to do the video. I didn't want to keep going. I couldn't go any further
Good night,
because not
Rob.
one thing was salvageable from it. The compass couldn't find north, you know, a lot of other stuff. It was just awful. So if any of you are deciding to look for any of that stuff on Amazon that's in those little black boxes that have little EDC stuff laid all over the place, don't buy don't buy one of them. They're not worth $10. And what's funny, you know, most of them are $10 and higher. So the $10 ones, just don't even bother. They're awful. I figured I would tell you that so you didn't waste your money on it. So if you stuck around this long, I saved you a buck.
There we go.
That's pretty much it. So Rob gonna do it, or no? I mean, Wes gonna do it.
Yep. All right, Wes, get it.
Okay, Wes S. If you click on him, you'll see him in the comments. If you click on him, he's going to be doing the After SOS show, and he's going to get that going now. So you guys, if you want to head on over,
Good night, try and survive.
if you want to keep on talking, Wes S will be your guy filling in and starting it up.
Thank you,
Thank you, Tin Bear. God
You're
bless
so
you,
quiet
brother.
Tonight. Didn't even read a comment.
No, well, it's kind of like me. Like when I go to other people's stuff and then they're talking, I just hang out. That's what I do. It's kind of like when I go to see Finger Lakes Prepper or anybody else that's doing a live video or something. I just kind of hang
Thanks,
out.
Tin Bear. Hope you're doing good, buddy.
But yeah, Wes, I'll be over there in a minute to come hang out with you guys and gals and talk for a little while.
It's the after show, Patricia.
Yeah, Wes S does the little after show, and everybody just kind of jumps in the chat room and chats. I like coming over there and chatting with everybody.
Thank you, Jason.
So I'll be over there in a minute when I'm done closing this up.
Good night, Backwoods. You have a good weekend too, buddy.
But it's Saturday, right? And you're still alive, and you didn't die. And God bless America and this great country, and everybody that fights to keep it that way, and everybody else that fights everywhere else to keep their freedom in each and every single other country out there besides our own, because I know there's other people watching like Australia and Canada and places like that. So figured I'd go ahead and say that too, and in other Europe and blah blah. So I figured I would keep it politically correct and do that the right way, and let one of you know that I love you, and I really appreciate each and every one of you.
Thanks for coming by.
That put up with us and hang out with us, and I love doing this every Saturday night. Every Saturday night, like always, at 8 o'clock, I do the same thing. If none of you got no place to go, I'm always here Saturday nights. Usually Zippy Cup and I will be here. All right, to Wes S's channel. You got to be alert. All right, I'm heading over to Wes S's channel. Thank you all for showing up.
Good night, everybody.
You watching SOS? I'm Southern Bass.
Zippy, have a great weekend.
And have a great weekend. And take it easy. And don't let anyone screw your day up. Be happy. Smile.